Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to another episode of Tea and Coffee with Paula and
Jay. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all well. I'm still 3 hours away from my wife, so I miss you.
miss you too, babe. But glad you got there okay. You had the event, and got some rest, hopefully. So bright and early for today.
Yeah, well rested up, and congratulations. This is our number 100 episode.
It is. Yes, happy 100, baby.
Who would have thunk it? Yeah, you would have been around for 100 episodes of Tea and Coffee with Paula and Jay.
I know, and I think I've been more consistent than you have. So this is this is my 100th episode.
I think you made it to every one of them.
I think so. I don't think there's one that I've missed.
You were sick once,
yeah, because you've my second co-host husband Ken has been on a couple of times with me, but yeah, where you haven't been.
Co-host
You've
husband?
just made it partial. Co-host husband.
Yeah, stand-in co-host.
They have their work husbands. Yeah, they have their work spouses. I've got my co-host husband Ken.
Yeah, there was one episode I definitely wasn't on. I know Ken came twice, but I was in the car for one of them. But yeah, 100. If we were a sitcom, this would be syndication time.
Where's the cake?
That's right. There should be a cake that says 100.
We need a big cake, and the kids will be all over that.
Mm.
Yeah, but
have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah. It's been good, and thank you everyone who tuned in to watch us with our banter and silliness and impromptu singing, and to tune in with our guests as well. Thank you for those who joined us.
So what's in your witch's brew today? And by the way, you were complimented on it at the event last night. You're not the only one to make a witch's brew.
Yeah, of course not. No. Today I got water, but it's going to be my next drink that I have before I get on with my morning. But it's just water right now because I felt a bit dehydrated waking up. So I have some water, and then when I go in to get the boys up, that's what I'll be making to start my day.
Awesome. No, the weather is good here.
It's good for you.
The stuff is good for you?
It is. The ginger, the turmeric, the cayenne, the lemon juice, the apple cider vinegar, the touch of the black pepper activates the turmeric and the cayenne, and
I'm pretty sure that's how WD-40 was invented, just to be clear.
Yeah, exactly. But
you should see if it unsticks anything or get rid of squeaks, or if it helps around the house.
I'm squeaking in my age. I'm squeaking. Like that, I think was the challenge for when you're over 40 is whether or not you can stand up without making a sound.
I'm not trying.
That easy anymore. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
But everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. Berta Proud Dad, proud to have been a guest on whatever episode number that was. LOL. Yeah, we were great to have you on as well. Thank you for
great to see him last night as well. He was streaming and doing some clips. It was a big event. We'll certainly get into that. We got John Bolton today, who was there as well. And my feed is full of clips and different various people who were there last night.
Yeah, no, it was great to see. It was I saw clips as well online. It was a fantastic turnout from what I saw, and you can share all the incidents and drama that occurred. You and John, but thanks for all the love in the chat, everyone, for tuning in and encouraging us over the last 100 episodes. It was good fun.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward. Berta, he's invited me to his studio at some point, so I'm gonna go check that out. He spent 5 years making it, and it's a beautiful studio. So I'm gonna go check it out. Maybe take some tips on how to improve ours.
Yeah, always be learning.
Always be learning. You got that always be in your head now ever since the campaign.
Yeah, but we're like Jason's like always be knocking, always be walking, always be campaigning.
Always be campaigning. ABC. Always be campaigning.
ABC. Yeah, exactly. So no, that was another fun experience that we had, and we got to do over the course of the show as well. So that was pretty cool too.
So how's the homestead? I miss it.
Oh, it's all fine. What did we do yesterday evening after you'd gone? Nothing much. Our eldest had his drama club. The youngest and I chilled and hung out and came home, had dinner, chilled out, and then same old, but we've got the nice temperatures. So,
Hmm.
and we've got sunshine today as well. So I was looking like the forecast for the next week, and like it's a good solid plus temperatures during the day and like lows of single digits. Like, wow, this is winter in Alberta so far. Thank you, global warming, climate change, climate warming, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I'm looking
Just
forward to the tour. It's going to be a good, nice, relaxing drive
mm,
all around northwestern, no, actually, no, central west Alberta up to
yeah,
Grand Prairie. It's going to be good. And we have another tour planned and another one in the works. So we're going to get some more news to you all about running around doing some more town halls, speeches.
excellent. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we've got to. It's all go, go, go with regards to sharing information, getting information out there, because the end date for the collection of signatures was it May 2nd? And then what was it
Technically,
that
but they'll end a little bit earlier because they got to collect them all, get them together, and bring them to Elections Alberta.
right.
Yeah. And as
So what
Mitch
was it that
highlighted
Mitch mentioned
yesterday,
yesterday?
yeah, I think he said the 5th or the 7th will
S
be
Yeah,
when the numbers or something comes out. So we got to book Danielle for that.
yeah, okay. So that is all exciting to find out. But yeah, it's go, 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 because it's not just a case of some people are yay or nay. It's a case of that some people still want information and have conversations. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So whatever information that can be put out there so that they
Mhm.
can have a clearer understanding if they do want to sign, um, I think we should be encouraging that. Encouraging conversation is always a good thing.
We'll get your button ready because make sure you go to stayfreealberta.com to go ahead and sign up for a canvasser. They're still looking for that to provide a donation. They're still looking for some of those. And for the locations, sometimes it's a single event, sometimes it's a reoccurring location. I even met one gentleman who has so it sounds like it's a trailer, a semi trailer that's
Mhm.
all set up to take signatures. It's got a diesel heater in there, and it does 10 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week at a certain location. So go check stayfreealberta.com to find any location where you can go sign.
Yep. They're putting it out there because people do. People do want to go ahead and sign.
Hmm. We may even start doing salt and pepper every once in a while. We'll get it put up on there if you're in Breton. But the big event for Breton will be on the 5th, where we have Dr. Hodgkinson and Kathy Flett coming into town to have an evening with you, to do some questions and a couple speeches for you as well.
Yep. So go ahead and check that out. Posters are in and around the town of Breton. So if you want to go see it, get the details. But yeah, go ahead. Come join us.
And the big one is we're also going. I'm going out to Ontario. We'll be seeing Dan Hartman touring a bit there. 5 stops, 6 stops. Yeah, 6 stops now because we've added Hamilton to the list and we've changed the dates around. So if you were looking for West Toronto on the 12th, it's now the 13th, and we'll be in Hamilton on the 12th because we've got a nice venue set up there, and we're looking forward to doing quite the showing and all over
Mhm.
Ontario.
And you too you got to watch a cut of it last night. And as he says, is it just
It's
one or two
final.
little tweaks, but it's fantastic. It's ready to go?
Yeah, just two little tiny tweaks. Not even changing videos. Everything is great. We've got a lot of exclusive video, actual video of some of the situation we're talking about.
Mhm.
It's touching. This is the 3rd major cut that we've reviewed, and it just keeps getting better. So really looking forward to showing it to everybody. And you can go to supportsean.ca to support Sean Hartman. Your donation link is there as well. There's a lot of legal and the showing dates and
Yeah.
locations, the current ones, 6 of them. And you can also fill out the form that says request a screening, and we'll do our best to get one to you. We've got requests from Texas all the way up to Alberta, all across Canada. There's a theater in Saskatchewan that reached out, and we're looking to team up with some more theaters. There's an independent network of theaters out west that we're going to be talking to go ahead and play it. And quite
Mhm.
possibly, I don't want to get people too excited, but the largest chain in Canada is taking a look at our request to go ahead and put it into their theater as well. So with any luck, knock on wood, you might be able to walk into your local theater and see this movie as well. So we're working on all of that. We'll keep you posted. We should find out more this week on where it's going to be, but go to supportsean.ca for all the current locations and to request a screening as well.
Yep. There you go. Go ahead and check it out.
And people are wondering, like, are we going to release it digitally? Yes, of course we will at some point, because this is a fundraiser. Sean's back, or Dan's back in court. He's got two court cases going. The appeal was yesterday. It got started in Ontario, and you also have the Pfizer lawsuit. So there's a lot of legal to address, expert witnesses, retainers for them as well. So this is why we're raising those funds. And sorry, I got to tickle my throat, so I have to deal with it now.
Yes. But yes, and I think there was an opportunity for those to tune in and listen to the appeal. Did you get an opportunity to do that or catch up?
I was on the road. No, I was on the road, but I did get small little updates on it. Omar did a good job. I understand that the Crown sounds like a complete fool as they're talking, especially from the medical side of things. I had one contact who's a doctor reach out and said it was just silly to listen to this Crown try and explain anything. But this is the appeal, the beginning of the appeal. So the submissions were put in. This doesn't take very long because it's about a matter of law. So an error in law or an error in the judgment of both facts. So we'll see if the 3-judge panel finds any of those to be compelling to go ahead and appeal. Now, this is the appeal on, and we're kind of getting into the news, so we'll just kind of blend a bit here. But the appeal is on a dismissal from the matter, the case for Government of Canada on the grounds of no duty of care. So this could reverse that decision, and then the Government of Canada is back in the lawsuit, or could uphold the decision. And then the next stage would be possibly the Supreme Court to hear whether or not the government has a duty of care to Canadians when it comes to things like providing recommendations and requirements to go ahead and take an experimental vaccine, whether or not the Health Canada followed proper procedure, made sure that it was safe for us, more effective. I've heard those terms a lot. And what can happen if someone's injured or dead through the recommendations. So this is a big matter. This particular portion of it's a big matter. The Pfizer lawsuit's a separate one right now as well. But this particular one is important because can your government be held accountable for what they do and put out there for you? I think on its surface, I would say, yeah, of course. The ones that we trust, Health Canada, the ones that we're trusting to go ahead and give us good information. But in Dan's case, for his son, this wasn't a good outcome. And he wants answers. He wants to know what happened and find some justice for that. So we'll be jumping into that a lot over the next little bit and bringing more of that to you. Dan is on the show on Thursday, so we'll delve into that for sure, along with Dean Rainey, who is the director of the movie. I saw the credits, so now I know what my role is. It's a writer and producer, and Dean's the director and editor.
Very cool. I'm excited.
Yeah,
so now I'm proud of you for being behind this.
You get to kiss a writer and a producer all at the same time.
Woohoo! Lucky me.
Yeah, a lot of little hats that we've been putting on over the years.
Yeah, you're not wearing one now, but yeah, you have quite the collection of hats. Correct, love.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and jump into the news now.
Go ahead.
We're going to catch everybody up on how there's 3 major pieces of news yesterday, and we're going to get to them all. I'm sorry, where's my... Oh, sorry, folks. We're going to have to scroll through here. We're going to get to it. There's John. He's coming. And there we go. So yesterday we had Mitch Sylvester. A lot of people found it very informative, especially if you're a canvasser. Some of the process there, how you get your papers and documents. There's good information from Mitch. And if you were in our locals and got to see the supporters only version, he just kept going on great information, how excited he is about things. And there's some great questions answered. So if you want to join that, you can go ahead and go to thelevineshow.com, get yourself signed up. It is recorded. You can replay it. All of our episodes are 100 of them now. And going back to see those special conversations that we're having. And we'll be doing some more of that with John Bolton this morning. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share this out. Click that little bell. Oh, look at that pretty lady that just popped on the screen. make sure you share this out there because every single one of those helps. So thanks, everybody.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
Keith Wilson here, he's got his own little podcast now, so keep an eye on that. It's on YouTube, and he jumps into various subjects, mainly Alberta independence and the reasons why Alberta should be independent. And Carney is Sinking Canada was a good episode where he talks about that we're an export economy, and you don't need to be fighting with your best trading partner. Large is by far longest relationship. We have a lot in common. Our societies and our economies are intertwined, and picking a fight there is just ridiculous. So he goes into that. And he also touches on why we will not be the 51st state. Dennis Modry on Thursday laid that out on the legal side for the U.S. side of the border, how it's an impossibility. They would have to add multiple states. The Democrats would have to support it. The House and the Senate would have to support it, 2/3 of it. And that's if we wanted to. And on our side, we need to have a referendum that specifically is about joining the U.S. And as you saw Newfoundland do in 1949, they chose Canada instead of the U.S. This isn't something that could just happen. There's a lot of steps that would have to come into place. And 51st state's not even on the table as far as the State Department's concerned. It's about Alberta independence. So Keith is still debunking that one because that one is one of the hot topics that the other side likes to push. No, Alberta is not joining the U.S. as a 51st state. But if you do support the idea of one day a 51st state or 52nd or 53rd or whatever it might be, you should be supporting the independence now, because you can't get to that step if you're not an independent sovereign nation. That's one of the requirements. So if that's where you hope we go one day through a referendum and a vote, first step is to support independence today, because you can't even join the 51st state. You can't annex another sovereign nation's land. It has to be a sovereign nation before that process starts. So Modry laid that out, and then Keith Wilson did as well. So here we go. Here's my first little clip from the event last night. Alberta, Calgary has filled the Big Four tonight as Unacceptable Fringe, or Derek Smith, starts the event as the MC. And Derek will be on tomorrow, Wednesday. So we'll get into some more details about what it was like from his perspective up on stage, looking down and seeing that room full. I continue here. It is stunning to see how well State Free Alberta has packed this building. I was one of the ushers at the front door as people were coming in, kind of directing them which way to go and let them know where the seats were. So that was a lot of fun. I ran into quite a few people that I know, fans of the show as well. And there's a lot of people asking where Padge was. Once again, I got to keep answering that question. Oh, she's taking care of the kids. I also understand you had an offer to babysit the kids too, for this event.
No, I was trying to work on a babysitter for the event. Yes, I was chatting with two of our good
That's who came up to me and said,
viewers,
anytime we'll watch the boys for you guys.
which they couldn't because they were there. But yeah, no, because I reached out, and then we had weather, and then it was all a case of, well, now let's see how things go, but we kind of had decent weather overnight. Yeah. But that's the thing, it's winter time. Even though we're grateful for the mild weather right now, at the end of the day, we've got to take care of camp.
Well, spring is coming. It's just a couple months away, and we'll be into warmer weather, and camp can take care of itself. But it was great to see so many people there. It was standing room only. It kept getting, even after this, people kept coming in, filling it up. All the way up to Mitch's speech, people were still coming in, and nobody was leaving. So it got even more full than this by the time Mitch took the stage. And thanks a lot to Max. He's a busy guy. He had all his equipment. He has his table. Everything was set up. So there's a 3-hour stream here of the event if you want to check it out. Good job, Max. He got 6,000 views on X, and his other platforms, I'm sure, are doing great. Good to see him there. He was running around trying to get the internet connection and all that stuff going. And he captured the event. So good job, Max. Yeah, go watch freedomcalendar.net or fcalendar.net on X, and make sure you subscribe. And if you can, go ahead and send him a donation too, because he works hard and he's not paid for a lot of this work.
Yeah, he definitely does. He tries to be out there at so many different events because he knows how important it is to try and share it out, and he knows that not everyone can make it. So he's really doing his part to help the freedom, independence, information movement within Alberta. So well done to Max for what he does.
Yeah, and people were asking if I was going to be streaming it. We don't normally do that. We're a morning show, and we also do interviews. We don't normally do on the street or from an event. Now, there was an exception for the UCP AGM because when we got there, nobody was streaming it. There was no
Yeah.
streams, and a lot of people were reaching out and saying, "Is there a stream?" And there was none. So I usually have my laptop with me. I'm like, okay, all right. So pointed the camera to the stage, kept one on me, and we did it. But Max was there. I'm really pleased that he was there. He could focus on that. I was talking to a lot of people. So that's what I was doing. I was trying to capture information, trying to gauge the
Yeah.
crowd. So thanks very much, Max, for doing that. Of course, at one point, here's the drama you're talking about. The only thing that came up, there wasn't even people protesting outside or anything like that, but some Yahoo pulled the fire alarm during Jeffrey Rath's speech. There's several witnesses to this person. It wasn't in the venue, it was outside, but it was part of the building. So pulled the fire alarm. I believe there's video because there's a lot of cameras around, and there were people outside when this person ran away, coward. But that's the best they did. That's all they've got to break the law, to trigger a fire alarm, and nobody flinched. And it was kind of cute because after the fire alarm stopped, there was an announcement in the building that said, we had a minor incident. Basically, don't worry, everything's clear now. Continue with your event. And it was kind of neat to see Jeff have to respond to that because it was coming through the speakers of the event. But yeah, that was it. That was the extent of any drama. Everybody was in good spirits. I saw one lady walk out of the event saying, "Oh, this is just oversimplification." No, it's not. You just don't like what's being said.
Yeah.
But other than that, that was it. It was a good event.
Yeah. I just want to add this comment here from Nikki. Nikki, thank you very much. No fire alarms will be heard during the episode. Hello, all.
Thanks very much, Nikki, for sure. But yeah, I just happened to be in the spot there when it went off, pulled up the camera, captured the crowd, not even moving. But there's the bell. It's going off. And then somebody in my comments said, you probably pulled it just to say this. Yeah. All right. Whatever, buddy. Yeah, no, I'm in a room with thousands of people.
Oh my goodness.
It was done downstairs. People saw the person run out, and this is the shenanigans that they do. But hopefully that person is captured at some point with the authorities because you should not be doing this. But that's all they tried. That's what they did. Here's John. John's going to be joining us in a few minutes. I'm looking forward to catching up with him. He was there early. Very proud of Stay Free Alberta. They had 150 canvassers taking signatures. So that line just kept moving and moving and moving. It was pretty full the entire time. There was a couple big waves, one at the very beginning, one in the middle of the day, and then one right after work. There were large waves of people being there to sign the petition. I didn't see that part of it because I was ushered straight into the main area as media to kind of hang out and see what was going on. But we'll get an update from John, who was there on the ground nice and early.
Great.
Nenshi being Nenshi. So Nenshi has announced that he's trying to get a pledge going by MLAs to stop independence. This is not how it works. This is Nenshi being Nenshi. So my post here is he thinks he controls us. A petition for a referendum is legal and cannot be stopped by a pledge of elected officials. Nenshi, are you sad your attempt to recall 22 UCP MLAs are failing? You didn't mind that direct democracy tool. Keep talking, it helps us. So every time he talks, it just helped us. This came up in the speech as well last night. You really think that the elites and the elected officials can stop a grassroots movement of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people? That's just the way this guy's wired and the NDP are wired. They think they can. They can take away the voice and the democracy tools of hundreds of thousands of Albertans just by trying to get a pledge going. It's not how it works, Nenshi.
No, exactly. And would you want that done to you? That's the thing. That's the flip side of this all. Would you want this to be done when you're the one trying to push a change or a movement? You would want your voices just unilaterally go ahead and taken away?
Then why don't we get the UCP to sign a pledge to reject all recalls? The recalls are failing, but this is just silliness. He's still doing stuff like this. You're just helping because if you're in the middle and you're unsure what to do, and you see one side doing stuff like that, And then you see the other side talking about the benefits and the prosperity and going through the legal process and being very careful about doing things correctly. And you have to look at both sides and say, which one represents me most? If you're in the middle, the movable middle, I think you're going to be joining the independent side because we're making arguments and bringing forward information. The other side is just trying to stop it.
Yeah.
They're not countering it with reasons to stay in Canada, why Alberta should stay a province. They're not even countering it with arguments. They're just trying to stop the process. It's like trying to stop a train because you don't like the train being there. Good luck. We've all seen the videos of the trucks and the tractors and the cars on the train tracks. It doesn't usually end well. You should make some counter arguments. You should be compelling people over and be persuasive, but that's not their tricks. It's to pull fire alarms and try to do pledges to stop people. And it wouldn't even work. This is like a paper airplane to a train. The pledge would do nothing. It would do nothing. There's no legal grounds for that.
Yeah. And this is what some people encountered with the Forever Canada campaign, is that when people did go to ask them and say, okay, well, why should we stay in Canada? All those questions, and they were met with no information. And in some cases, some people just left.
Well, a lot of people signed it wanting to vote no on that petition, on that referendum if it went forward. And we've heard stories where when the petition signer or the canvasser learned that, they're like, oh, I can't take you off of here. No, you can't. You can't remove names. There's a fine. But yeah, it was fun to see. And then, of course, it went nowhere. They didn't actually do anything with it. Spent the entire summer, lots of donor money, going out there collecting them, but didn't do anything with them. This one,
and as we learned with Mitch, 50,000 signatures were voided.
Yeah, and that's a good chunk of them. But all right, so that means they're down to about 400,000 collected, and a proportion of that was to vote no on it. All right, and Theo was there. I just love how he just kind of sneaks in. He doesn't make a big deal about him being there. Theo's a great guy, but I saw him. I know, I recognized him. Like, you're sneaking in, are you? But he was there. It was good to see him there as well. And hopefully we'll get him to one of our showings of the movie because he's in the movie, and the portions that he's in there, it's really, really amazing. He brings a very good perspective, and it's great to have him as part of that movie to talk about Sean Hartman, what it's like to be a young man playing hockey in Canada, and then why he understands that Sean was compelled to go ahead and stay in hockey and do whatever he could, including taking that shot. So good to see you there. Theo, nice to catch up. So yesterday we talked about this a bit. Dan posted here, he loves watching Umar in action. And that's what we were covering a little bit earlier. This is the appeal process that started for Health Canada. There's one more big event that happened yesterday. So Tony Olenek was granted bail yesterday. So we're going to find out some of the conditions. Like right now, he's not out. The process is once it's been granted, then you're going to have to sit down and make conditions and agree to them and then be let out. So he'll be out shortly. But this is a big step forward for him. This is pending his appeal. But he's been granted bail. All I've heard so far are the conditions that he's got to stay at his mom's place. So I'm sure she's very pleased about that to catch up on some of the work around there. He will have access to the internet. And so waiting for some of the other conditions. I don't know if he'll be allowed to post online or not yet. There's some stuff that will have to come out, but he was granted bail yesterday. So thanks to Daisy for providing that info. Mia is crushing it with the clips from her speech. And so many people came up yesterday and said Fundamental Truth was an amazing event. They're looking forward to the next one. So to remind everybody to just mark it in your calendar, April 11, 411 for more information, 411. That'll be the next date where we're going to be doing political action. And we almost have a full slate right now of speakers. So I'll be releasing this information in the coming weeks as we finish up some other tour stuff. But looking forward to putting on another event like this. It was well received. Several people came up to me yesterday thanking us for that.
Excellent.
Yeah, and you missed it because you were working the table in the front. But
I could hear bits of it because they were streaming it out to the foyer. So even everyone within the Stay Free Alberta lineup got to hear a bit of it, and there were actually a couple people who were like, "Oh, I want to go check this out." So they actually bought tickets to attend. So awesome. Yeah, no, it was good. So what I did end up doing, obviously once we got home, I got to re-listen to some of our speakers, so I could actually hear the full their full presentation, which was great. And yes, I enjoyed Mia's tremendously.
Yeah, what'd you like about Mia's speech?
The facts of it all. This is what, people, I think, when it comes to the LGBT trans movement, all that type of thing, they're very emotionally led because they think, oh, we should love who we want. But the facts are the case of that they are mutilating children. They are encouraging the mutilation of children, and there's the science and the medical data supporting that it's dangerous. It's just flat out dangerous. And I like that she brought facts to her presentation. So that's what I enjoyed.
Yeah, and her presentation style is very calm. It's easy to listen to.
It's very matter of fact. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's still getting a lot of good coverage from that. So good job, Mia.
Yeah.
Marty posted here, thanks for promoting Alberta independence. This is the kind of stuff we're seeing a lot of. People are just upset. They're lashing out. And here's the comment. You're all a bunch of ignorant, uneducated grifters. I can't wait for karma, FAFO, to catch up. Alberta's never leaving Canada, but you all will never be treated well by Canadians when all this ends. We're watching. This is exactly why we want to leave. You guys are just
We're already
rude.
not treated well. That's the whole point.
Yep. This is 120 years of stuff just like this. So thanks for Marty to pointing that out. That you're just promoting Alberta independence. When Quebec was talking about leaving, it was all about we love you, Quebec. Don't go. We're embracing you. Please stay. On this one, it's like you guys are losers. You guys are grifters. All these other name calling separatists instead of sovereignists. But yeah, you're not making things harder for us in any way, shape, or form. So keep it up. May. So I just text John, trying to get him into the studio. He'll be popping on any time now. I think he's just in our little area. He's got to click that enter studio link, and he'll be in our green room, and we'll bring him in. Elizabeth May is back in the New World Order. So the comments that didn't happen according to CBC, but the comments we all heard out of Mark Carney is he's for the New World Order. And he's pushing it. Of course he is. He's from the WEF. He's not hiding that. This is not a rumor. He's not just on the website. He's on the foundation board. He's one of the guys who actually created the WEF in its current form. So no surprise. He's using words like that. And there we go, John here now. But there's Elizabeth May. And so good job on Chris Barber, who's really pushing for Saskatchewan independence. Screw this New World Order BS. The West needs independence away from this ideology. Absolutely. And John, good to see you. We'll bring you on in just a second here. And then the last little post here is, remember, our pinned one, the Sean Hartman story, the shot. Final cut was last night. 2 small tweaks. The credits are there. The whole movie's ready to go. It's just a few seconds over 1 hour. So go ahead and grab some tickets. Go to supportsean.ca to do that. And looking forward to seeing you in person. Dan will be coming to most of the events. I think Ottawa is the only one that he may not be able to make it, but Detective Helen Bruce will be in the Ottawa one. Chris Shoemaker will join us in Ottawa as well. Dean Rainey, the director, and then myself, the writer, will be there as well. So looking forward to sharing all of that with you. There we go. We got through the news, and we got our guest here. Oh, I love his Alberta flag in the background there. Let's go ahead and bring him in. Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you.
Okay,
we can hear you. That's good.
And it will work. Yeah, just try reconnect and it will work. This happens sometimes with StreamYard. Reconnect, and it will work.
Where is the schedule for the movie, Kim? If you go to the supportsean.ca website, there will be a link to see where you can get tickets, and you'll see where their showings available.
Yep, and what I'll do is actually bring up that website for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Quickly. I just got to find my little page. There's pages everywhere. We got John as well. Okay, John, can you hear us now?
Again, I'm not hearing you, Jason.
Okay. Hadj, while I'm doing the website, I'm going to put his phone number, and you'll take him through the gear thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll just let him keep trying. But I'll put it into the private chat.
We got you.
You got
Oh,
us.
you got it?
I got you.
Fantastic.
got
Your
you.
tech support worked. Okay, so just hang on one second, John. I want to share with our audience the Support Sean website quickly here, and then we'll get right to you.
Sure.
Because they're excited to be part of that event. All right, so here we go. Support Sean, share this tab. All right, we have it on the screen there, Paula?
Yep.
Great. So yeah, you just come to supportsean.ca. You can donate to his main Give, Send, Go. This is the one you all are very familiar with. And the Sean's Hartman Story trailers right here to check it out. You'll see the poster for the event. And then right below that, you'll see the screenings. So Barrie, Ottawa, Peterborough, East Toronto, Hamilton, West Toronto, and more will be added here. And you can grab your tickets by going right there. All right, John, great to see you. And thank you so much for being at the
I lost you again.
Four.
When you switched back. I don't know why I lost you, but when you switched, I lost you. Sorry.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So there's some tech issues. Paula, can you talk? Maybe he can hear you.
That's odd.
Yeah. John, can you hear me? Can you hear my voice?
Okay, let me just try and click a button or two here, see if this helps. Okay, John, can you hear us now? How about now? Do you hear us at all?
Uh-oh.
Nope.
Switch back over to this configuration, Jason. That's when I lost your audio, so I don't know what's going on there. But
yeah, let's bring this back. See if that helps any. Do you hear us now? This is so weird.
I'm not hearing you now either.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I'll log back in one more time.
Yeah, let's try that one more time.
Go ahead.
I don't know what's going on StreamYard. The last couple of months, I've had a couple of guests have that issue where they lose the audio.
I don't know. And then also find out if he's using Chrome, because that's more favorable as well.
Okay, well, he's back. Maybe he's back.
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, we're not going to touch anything. We're just going to leave this alone. Not going to touch anything. We're going to leave this. This is the best setup ever.
It's remarkable what we can do these days. You're doing this podcast. You're all over the world right now. These little technical glitches are just little things, really. It's really remarkable that we can do something like this. It is.
We used to need satellites and roaming reporters and studios all over the world just to bring people together on one screen. And now we have StreamYard, which mostly works.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm hearing you just fine. It's nice to be with you.
Right.
Well, I apologize that you have to hear me first thing in the morning, John. But I'm really thankful you're here.
Well, I used to be a morning radio announcer, so a lot of people heard me first thing in the morning, and so I never got to listen to early morning radio or anybody at this time. I was always on the air, but it is good to be here for sure.
I appreciate it, and good job being there nice and early and capturing some of the canvassing portion of things. As you saw, I think a total was 150 canvassers taking signatures, moving that line quickly, and there's a lot of big smiles on both sides of the table as these were getting done.
Yeah, I was sitting at home, and I was away actually on vacation in Panama for about 10 days, and I felt kind of like I was out of the scene and out of the independence movement at that point. There were times when I thought I'd like to be home, although it was beautiful, I have to say, in Panama. But yesterday, I'm sitting and I'm watching some pictures pop up of the lineup at 11 o'clock when they started collecting signatures for the petition. And I sat around here for a while, and I said, I'm going to go down there around 2 o'clock. So I got there at 2, and I didn't get home until about 10 o'clock last night, got to bed at 11. It was extraordinary to see. Unfortunately, you can't take pictures in the room where the petition is, where people are signing. It wouldn't allow you to do anything like that, so you couldn't see. But they had dozens and dozens and dozens of tables. People would hold up a little card when they were available to take more signatures, and it was pretty steady all day, right up until I left around 10 o'clock last night.
Yeah, we don't have counts. They don't release a count at all. But at 150 people taking signatures, it takes about 5 minutes to do one. If you got good ID, you can kind of extrapolate that there was thousands of people that went through there.
Well, they said, I was told when I got there at 2 o'clock that between 11 and about 12:10, they put through 888 people and got signatures. 888 in that about an hour. It's extraordinary. It really is.
Yeah, and they closed it at 10 p.m. So there's definitely going to be, I'm going to guess somewhere in the 6,000 to 8,000 range, somewhere in there.
I would think so. I don't know how many people who were actually at the event at the Big Four last night Probably most of those people had signed. So there were thousands and thousands of people. I think we're moving forward here. I think Jeff Rath last night talked about over 1 million signatures they'd like to get. I kind of get scared when people say we want to get this if you fall short, but I think we can do it. And there was a lot of positivity in that room and optimism about moving forward with the referendum and winning it when we get to that later this year.
Yeah, Paula has a name for that. She shared it with Mitch yesterday on the show. Go ahead, Paula. What was your name for that?
Yeah, Mitch's Million. I thought that was nice. It had a nice ring to it.
I like that. Yeah, that's good. I spoke with Mitch last night. He was the last guy I got a chance to talk with. I did a video this morning. I called it "The Voices of Independence," and I went around and talked to a lot of people. I put that video up earlier this morning. I talked to Mitch, and he was just thrilled. I feel really privileged and honored to be able to be part of what's going on here. I started talking about this on my YouTube channel probably last spring. The first person I spoke with was Jeevan Mangat, who was at the time the interim leader of the Wild Rose Independence Party of Canada. He's the first person I talked about independence on my channel. But I've been able to get access to people like Mitch and Jeff Rath and Dennis Modry. Corey Morgan's been on my channel many times, and they are just so giving of their time. They're so busy. And I got in touch with Jeff and Dennis when I was in Panama. Can I talk to you for a few minutes? Absolutely. And they were on with me within an hour. And here I am sitting in this hotel room, beautiful rainforest I'm in, doing interviews on the independence movement with these guys. And I just thank them so much. And if you ever see them out there, walk up, shake their hands. You just have to say thank you to them because they're doing great work. And again, I feel privileged that I have a chance to talk to them on a regular basis here.
Yeah, Dennis came. He was there last night. I was doing the ushering at the door, helping people go to wherever they needed to go. And Dennis walks in. Big smile. He's just carrying a big smile on his face. It's something he's been working on for quite some time. And when he got there, it was a little bit closer to Mitch's speech, but that room was full. There was standing room along the sides and the back. Lots of flags there as well. You got to see that.
I did, and I kind of sat in the middle. And I just stood there and watched the whole thing happen. I think it was a great setup as well. They had the big screens on the side so that people could see what was going on the stage. A lot of exuberance there. And, I've noticed something that's happened, Jason and Paula. I talked to a few people there, and I think it was Derek from Unacceptable Fringe said he spoke with Corey Morgan, and Corey said, we might have to do a couple of these before we actually win. But more people are thinking that we can win this the first time, and I'm feeling that way as well. I think during the summertime, I started to feel that it was lagging a bit. It's summer, it's the dog days of summer, but as we moved forward, and then we got into this petition signing thing, things went crazy. Like, it's just nuts what's going on right now, and we've come a long way since this time last year. We weren't anywhere near this last year. And then just before Christmas, when they passed Bill 14, thank you, Danielle Smith. We need to give her the credit that she deserves for doing that. Things have gone nuts over the last month or so, and people are so optimistic. And I felt like when I was in the room last night, I said this to Mitch Sylvester at the end. So just one more point, Mitch. I said, I felt like I was with friends in the room. And he said, yes. It's like you're with a bunch of friends. I can't tell you how many people I spoke with. I have to apologize. My voice is almost shot this morning because I spoke to so many people last night. It was just a wonderful experience.
Completely true. Mine's a little raw as well for the exact same reason, because when you're at the door, we're ushering people in. So many people were happy to be there, wanted to talk. The big quote that happened all the time is, my people, I'm with my people. And they were walking in. Like, yeah, you're in the right spot. And I kept telling everybody, you're part of history tonight. And thanks for being here.
Yeah, I call them sort of my friends in independence. That's what I call them. And they're just average Albertans who want something better, just like we do, Yeah.
I was very pleased to see some parents brought their children too. There's some children that to be part of that. It was absolutely an all ages event. Even with Jeff on stage, everything was great. What was the highlights for you, other than the fire alarm that did nothing? What was the highlights for you?
Again, I said this on my channel this morning. I've been to a number of these events. I enjoy what's said. I enjoy the camaraderie. But for somebody like myself, a year ago at this time, my channel was about 400 subscribers. And I go there and people now recognize me. And when I go to these events, they recognize me from my channel. But we have a common thread here. So going around and talking to people, I can't tell you how many people came up to say hi last night. Said on my channel this morning, if you're at an event and you see me and you think you're bothering me by coming up to see me because you recognize me, don't feel that way, because I love meeting the people and being there. And as I said to Mitch, I felt like I was with friends. That's the thing that was the highlight for me last night. And then again, this amazing momentum that this movement has. I mentioned to a few people I interviewed last night. I talked to Dennis Kalma, who was one of the co-authors of The Value of Freedom, the costed out plan for the independence movement. I said to Jeevan Mangat last night, January 10th, I was the MC at an event at the Queensland Community Center here in Calgary. And it was about 8 days after they got the okay to get signatures. So not too many people had one of these. I think I've got my my credentials right here. I'm an official canvasser. I'm gonna cover up the number, but not too many people had these at the time. So we had this event. 400 to 500 people showed up in the room. They had about 2 canvassers, and just before the event started, they said there's people lined up outside. So I took my camera and I was walking down the street, and the line was growing faster than I could walk. So we go into the event. Corey Morgan was there, Eva Chipiuk, Dennis Kalma was there. They were on the panel. And about 50 minutes in, somebody said there's like 1,500 people outside. I said, you're kidding. No. And that's when you started to see the viral pictures online. And then it wasn't just that event. It was every event after. People showing up in droves to sign the petition. And that's when the momentum really started on this. And I mentioned it to people last night. I think that was the day where sort of like D-Day for us. It just took off. And it's so exciting. And then you see something like last night and other events, and probably things you're doing as well. You're seeing these people show up. And I'm just so excited to be part of this. I really am.
Now, you mentioned a bit of a lull during the summer. So July 4th was when Mitch went and put his application in, because that's when Bill 54 became law. So that changed some of the rules. But first thing that happened is it went straight to court. The Elections Alberta, this chief electoral officer, sent
Gordon McClure. Gordon McClure.
Yeah, yeah. He's on the back. He's on the back of all our badges, so we're not going to forget who he is, Gordon. But it went to the court, and at the same time, that's when you had Tom McLusack crossing to Alberta, raising support for his petition for what he said in his application, a referendum to keep Canada together with Alberta in it forever. So I actually have to applaud him for his efforts, because he brought a lot of awareness to the fact that this conversation is happening. But then he went nowhere with that petition. What were your thoughts when you got that news that he said, no, I don't want a referendum. I don't want to do that.
Well, let me just tell you this. Back when McClure okayed his petition campaign, I was wondering why that was even allowed, because the question basically would maintain the status quo. You want to remain within Canada. So why are we having a referendum that maintains the status quo? And the other thing was, if I say no, does it have any effect on the referendum itself? Because apparently there's 2 different types of petitions you can have, or referendum, and one would be a constitutional one, like Stay Free Alberta has, and the other one was just basically a question on a ballot. If there was no difference between saying yes or no, why have it? I wrote Gordon McClure asking him, why are you allowing this? He shouldn't have allowed it in the first place, as far as I'm concerned. And I got back basically cut and paste from Elections Alberta, the website, on how they handle petitions. But as far as Mitch going through with this, there's been some bumps on the road, particularly what happened just before Christmas, when Justice Phoebe basically ruled against them. But within days, Bill 14 is passed, and here we are now, just about a month or so later, and things are looking good. They really are.
Yeah, and absolutely. I'm pretty sure what your response from them was. It's a policy question. It's non-binding. It doesn't invoke the other parts of the Citizens Initiative Act, because it's non-binding. And at the end of the day, it was a nothing burger. And this is what Justice Phoebe said during the submissions, that Thomas Lusakic's petition is a nothing burger, because it actually changes nothing. And in fact, if that actually went forward and became a referendum that turned into a yes to forever being Canada, talk about the loss of leverage for Alberta. That it sends a signal to Ottawa that says, you can do whatever you want to us. We're always going to be here for you.
I think they're already doing that. They're already doing that, Jason.
Not anymore. Not after things like last night. I think Ottawa's starting to pay attention.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering. I've said on my channel the last couple of weeks. Canada certainly has a lot to lose if Alberta leaves, and it's a lot of money. But I'm kind of concerned about what's going on with the Conservatives right now. The
Mm.
Conservatives have a hell of a lot to lose if Alberta leaves. They'll never be in power again if Alberta leaves. What is it? They have 37 seats here. Can you imagine how that will change things? So I think, I like Pierre Poilievre. I like him. I voted for him. I think he's probably going to be the best prime minister Canada never had. I believe that. But I think they could be one of the biggest opponents to the independence movement. So you got to be careful if you're meeting up with Pierre these days. I say, if you shake his hand, make sure you get all your fingers back, because him and the Conservatives are going to be very concerned that if Alberta leaves, they're going to lose all the power they have, because virtually this whole province is blue. So we're going to have people coming at us from all sides with this movement, and things are only going to get worse. I was watching your feed earlier talking about people, how they're insulting us, threatening us. I get those as well. I posted a few things before the event started last night. People threatening my life right now. It's going to get a lot worse before we have a vote in October or around then for a referendum.
It's
100%
interesting how
true.
people think they have the right to do that, to verbally
Well, they can
insult
speak their mind, but
another person.
they can speak their mind. They're not hurting us at all. I'm
No.
not afraid of them. And
No.
some of them are losing their accounts on X because they're going too far. But
Mm-hmm.
as you saw in 1995, the Quebec referendum, Canada was embracing Quebec, saying, "We love you. Don't leave. Please stay." Basically trying to keep the love going. They didn't keep it going after, but just before, that was their mentality. Here, they're not. Jen Arden was one of the first ones to come out and say, "Don't you dare! We're not going to let you." Comments like that. Let us. I'm not sure that's in your boat. You can do that.
Don't hold this against me, okay? Don't hold this against me. I was living in Cornwall, Ontario, in '95.
We were there too. We were just in Alexandria, just west of.
Is that
Cornwall.
right? I did not know that. So I was in
2021
Cornwall.
we moved here.
Yeah, and I was a broadcaster there, and I was one of the ones that went to Montreal for the Unity rally. They had that big Canadian flag in downtown Montreal. I remember taking a cell phone. We had cell phones in '95. There were these big bags like this big,
Yep.
And you had the cord on them, and it got very, very sketchy cell phone coverage. But I was there, and I'm there saying, don't leave. I was one of those people. I would never do it today. So, but you're right. It's amazing the way things have changed. The words that we're told, and like you said, it's like sticks and stones. You're doing nothing. Ignore these people. Walk the other way because they're a lost cause. And a lot of the people that are talking on the line doing these things are sitting in their mom and dad's basement. They're keyboard warriors. But yeah, I remember that, and it's really changed how people are so against Alberta leaving. And right now, they say nothing about Quebec, which is talking the same way. And we have a party in our parliament that is all about separatism. That's what the Bloc Québécois was created for. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a double standard here. But, Cory Morgan says quite often, we're not asking for permission. We're just going to do what we're going to do. Quebec does not ask for permission for what they do. They say, this is what we're doing. The government says you can't do it. And they say, well, you know what they say. They just do what they want. And Alberta's not asking for permission. We're going to go through this process. Everybody will get a vote. We either win it or we lose it. And it's a democratic process. And that's the way I see it. But we're not asking for permission. And somebody said that last night at the event at the Big Four here in Calgary.
Correct. If you're in an abusive relationship, you can't sit there and go, "I'm not allowed to leave. I need my permission to leave." And if the other side is saying, "I'm not going to let you leave or allow you to leave," all the more reason to leave, quite frankly.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a saying, you hear these people, and again, they've got the insults. They've got the threats. And there is a saying, I've mentioned it on my channel because this is growing, but when the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. I think they realize things are slipping away right now. And that's why this is ramping up. This is the kind of stuff you're seeing online more and more.
And when you're upset at the crowds, maybe some juvenile behavior kicks in by pulling a fire alarm and running away.
Right.
Yeah, I spoke to, I went down after that happened. It was kind of a joke. Jeff Rath was making jokes about it on stage. People were laughing. And it was about 10 minutes later where this this voice came out
The all
saying
clear
there was
came out. Yeah.
the all clear came out. So I went down, and a woman saw this happen last night, confronted the guy, and he ran away like a baby because he was trying to clear the room, which can be very dangerous when you've got 4,000 to 5,000 people in a room and they have to, vacate a room quickly. Somebody could have got hurt last night, but it really didn't have any effect. It was all positive last night for sure.
Nobody really cared. It started going off. I was like, huh, we expected stuff like that. Nobody got up to start to leave.
No.
The bell stopped pretty quick, and then as Jeff continued, that's when the all clear came over the main speaker. It was fun.
Again and
like
again
the word
and
of
again.
God or something while he's trying to talk. Just he kept interrupting him, and then his joke is like just like my wife kept interrupting me or something like that.
Mother-in-law, apparently.
Mother-in-law. That's it. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Paula was paying attention. But what was your highlights though? Mitch's speech, Jeff's speech, Eva. What was some of your highlights?
I met Eva for the first. Well, I actually met Eva for the first time when we were going out for coffee to talk about the January 10th event we had here in Calgary. And I've heard. I like what Jeff says. I like what Mitch say. I've heard them speak many times before. At the event we had on January 10th, Eva got a standing ovation for her speech. She talked. The thing that really got the standing ovation was the point that people call us traitors. There's no treason involved here, and that was the thing. And I really enjoy Eva's speech. I remember talking to Tanya Clemens, who's part of this as well, who goes out to some of the Stay Free Alberta events, and I had her on my channel, and I said, "Do you think it's important to have more women speaking on behalf of the movement?" And she didn't seem to think so, but I believe that, and I think having a strong woman's voice like Tanya Clemens, or a Kathy Flett, who I met last night for the very first time, or Eva Chipiak going out there and speaking. Eva, a very respected lawyer, but her speech was a highlight because I got to hear what I heard back on January 10th. And it was that talking about how they're going to say these things about us. It's sedition, but that's not what this is. This is a democratic movement where we all have a vote in order to move ourselves forward and to get a better life in Alberta. That her speech, because I've only heard it once before, was really a highlight for me last night. I enjoyed that. And I said that to her after. I was trying to get an interview with her after, but she had to run out the door. She had to be in court apparently in Edmonton this morning. But I'm going to try to get her on my channel. But Eva, well done. I really enjoyed again what you said last night.
Yeah, and this is part of the tour that we've been doing.
Yes.
So we had Nadine and Bruce Party, and now we're working with Dr. Hodgkinson and Kathy Flett. Tanya and David Parker, we're going to be teaming up with them to do a tour as well. We talked about it last night, so it's going to happen. And I think it's important to hear various perspectives.
I do.
Young, old, male, female, all sides, because I think audiences can connect and relate. And we need to have those conversations.
You talk about young people. Of course, what you see online when you see pictures, people take pictures at these events, all gray-haired people, right? That's what they say. But there are young people involved. I spoke with Michael Harris is his name. And you'll know Michael because he's always dressed to the nines. He always wears a cowboy hat. He was with some friends last night. And I got to, he asked a question at the event I was with at January 10th. So the video I put up this morning, I had him there. And he goes to the University of Calgary. And he says he's got thousands of people who are his age, university students, who are all about the independence movement. These people, these young people don't go out on a Monday night or a Saturday night or any night of the week to a political campaign event. They don't do that. But I saw them there last night, and I think you said earlier that you saw people with their families, which was really, I was really happy to see that. Young people at the door helping out with the independence movement. This is more than just old gray people, like as I'm getting. There's a lot of young people involved here, and they could push us over the top. I think I think that younger people are becoming more, I think, conservative. But I do believe that there's a lot of people in the independence movement who are young, and you saw it there last night. Watch some of the video footage, and you go through the crowd, and you can point out the younger people there for sure.
Yeah, we had in Stony Plain with Dennis Modry and myself and Derek Smith took the stage, and a 22-year-old young lady, she came up and she asked some questions, and she was telling us how her friends, some of them are kind of on the fence, or not sure what to do. But the one thing she kept talking about was how they still all live at home. and they don't like that. And I'm like, wow, okay, so it sounds like they want to be sovereign from their parents and be independent and on their own. And one way to do that is to help Alberta become sovereign and independent of Ottawa, so that we can go ahead and have that prosperity that everybody needs.
Yeah, I think the home issue is a big one. I was talking to Wade Kalinge last night. People will know Wade. He's got a sign out in Eckville on the corner. Wears a hat all the time. People got to know Wade pretty well. I talked to him last night and asked him when he became interested in the independence movement. And he said he heard about it, wasn't sure about it. He looked into it. And I think if you're sitting on the fence right now, look into it, ask some questions, go to an event, one of the Stay Free Alberta events. But he said, I was thinking about my grandkids. And I heard it a lot last night. I heard young people saying, I'm concerned that I can't buy a home. And that's something we all expected when we were younger. We'd be able to afford a home like the one I've got here. But Wade got tears in his eyes thinking about his grandkids and their future, because they aren't going to have a life as good as his. We always were told, the younger people will have a better life than their parents. And certainly I think I'm in that boat, but I don't think young people will have that anymore. And I think young people are looking at it saying, I'm behind the 8 ball from the start, and I'm not likely to get a home. So I think that's why more young people are going to come over to this. And I think there may be very silent out there, but they could be very powerful if we finally have a referendum here in Calgary or in Alberta.
Yeah, one of the stats that keeps popping up that I think is super powerful for the young people to listen to is it used to be the average age for a first-time home buyer was 24. It's now 44. And it takes 20 years to get a down payment when that used to be your entire mortgage. Like, you used to be done at that point. And now you're talking about down payment, saving up. And this is all because your dollar's worth less. Employment is difficult to get. Inflation keeps changing, making things more difficult. Mitch touched about that a lot. So did Jeff last night as well, talking about the dollar and the loss of the value there.
Well, I think it's all tied in. There's so many concerns I have with the country right now. Why are houses so expensive? Well, supply and demand. There's more demand than we have supply. Of course, Carney says he's going to build hundreds of thousands of homes. Don't know that he's built any yet. But I think we also have too many people coming to the country. And a lot of them are flooding into Alberta. You've got people on the left really concerned about schools, too many kids in classes. Well, why is that? Well, I think we have too many people coming to the country. And I'm all for bringing people here. We used to have a system where we would bring people in based on the needs of the country. We just flood the country now. And it's also overwhelming our healthcare system. So you've got homes, you've got education, you've got our healthcare system. They're all in difficulty right now. And that was addressed last night at the event as well, talking about immigration, how we'll be able to control immigration to our province, because it's not being controlled right now. And I think that's a huge reason why young people today can't afford a home. It's just unbelievable how expensive. I've been living in this house, I think for four years. I've moved around here in Calgary, but we got our assessment in our house the other day, and it's worth a couple of $100,000 more than it was worth just 4 years ago. Like, it's ridiculous how expensive homes are now. And I have no doubt kids will never own a home unless things change. Alberta could be one of the richest countries on the planet per capita if we leave and we're able to get what's under our feet right now, Jason and Paula. It's right under our feet. All those trillions of dollars of money, if we could get it out of the ground. And that's one of the things. Money certainly is a big part of why we want to leave. And everybody could maybe less income tax or none at all. Think about these things. How would that change your life? Think about it. If you're sitting on the fence right now, if you had no income tax right now, how would that change your life? I think you're going to be running to put yes on a referendum ballot. I really believe that.
Yeah, that campaign period between May and October is going to be very exciting and interesting to see as more information starts to come out and we're starting to get ready for that referendum. But that campaigning period, and that's where Alberta Prosperity Project will come back. During the signature period, it's kind of been put on pause so that there's no issues with Elections Alberta. But as soon as the signature period is done, you're going to see APP come back. Probably several hundred more town halls to go ahead and reach out to more people. And I'm looking forward to that period of time. And it'll be summer too. We'll have some nice weather.
God,
it'll be a good time.
So what I was thinking last night, I'm standing outside in the middle of the parking lot at the Big Four, just shooting a video hours before the event happens. And earlier in the morning, I checked the temperature in Calgary. I think it was minus 13 or it's minus 11 right now in Calgary. It's minus 13 or 14 around the time people were lining up there. And I'm thinking, imagine what it would be like if it was 26 degrees out there. But these people are going out in the dead of winter. It was cold yesterday and they're standing in line. Yeah, it'll be nice in the summertime and all of the people who are volunteering right now. It's incredible. All the people getting the badges and the canvassers, they'll be all on board. We're going to have a lot of feet on the ground to talk about our cause and to get people out to vote whenever that may be happening in the fall.
Yeah, I said to Mitch yesterday when I was on, this is just like the convoy. Late January, early February, people are out in the cold, very excited to be there. Cold's not going to stop Alberta at all.
But, you know, they call it a grassroots movement. I guess we can call these things snow roots or something like that. It's always happening in the wintertime, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. But hang on, we're just going to cut over to our supporters. I've got a couple more questions for you. Don't log off. Hopefully the sound stays for you, but we'll be right back with you. Yeah. Okay, John?
Good stuff. Thanks.
Excellent. He's awesome. I really enjoyed meeting him and spent some time with him, and I'm going to spend a lot more time with him. I didn't know he was in the Cornwall area, so we have something in common there too.
No kidding. Yeah, no kidding. That was not far from where we used to live for sure.
I used to work in Cornwall.
Terrible when we used to live there.
Yeah.
Terrible. That still makes me giggle.
Well, there you go, folks. Well, thanks a lot for hanging out with us today as we give you a bit of a recap of what was going on. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that little bell. That helps keep everything going. And if you want to join us in our members only section, you can go to thelevineshow.com, get yourself started and become a supporter. And then you'll be able to jump into this next part of the conversation. Remember, they're all recorded, so you can go ahead and watch them again and see what John's up to as we go into that little subscriber section and have a couple more questions for him.
Yeah, but otherwise, thanks for joining us today for our 100th episode. Greatly appreciate all the support we've had over the last, I guess, few months. The 100 just flew by. But otherwise, everyone have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow morning.
We got to do this for the 100th episode. There's a button for that. 100. Everybody have yourself a great day. Take care of each other. Love you all very much, and God bless.